Cool. Alrighty. Definitely pop some tunes on your end, guys. Get the vibes going this morning. And hop onto your mat and we'll start with some warm-ups. So we're just going to start on hands and knees. Hands directly below your shoulders, knees below your hips. And we're going to do a cat-cow. So pressing your spine up towards the roof. And then scooping your belly, tailbone up to the sky. So just move between those two positions. To start off with, a beautiful sunny morning. Nice. Maybe start to do some side to sides or circles. Whatever makes that spine feel nice and good this morning. Beautiful. And then take one hand, sweep it through your body, bringing your shoulder towards the mat, and then open all the way up to the sky. So getting a nice spinal rotation. Reach through and open, and let your eyes follow your fingers as you do this. Beautiful. One more on this side. And moving over to the other side. So arm comes through and open. Beautiful. 2. And 1. Nice. Then plant your hands, tuck your toes under. We're going to lift our hips up into a downward dog position and then just drop one heel down at a time. Really pedaling out the back of the legs. And then we're going to do a spinal roll forward. So come onto your tippy toes. Think about curling through every vertebrae from your tailbone up to your shoulders until you get to a plank, and then push back up. Tippy toes curl from every vertebrae to a straight spine and back. Big curl through. Big curl. One more here. Beautiful. Come down onto your knees and pop one leg in front at a 90-degree angle. Really think about tucking your pelvis under. Then we're going to take the same arm as our bottom leg and reach over. And then come back. Keep that pelvis tucked under, squeeze your butt, reach over. Nice little hip stretch. Beautiful. And then swap your front leg over. Again, tuck that pelvis under, squeeze your butt, and reach over. Beautiful. Good job. Do a few more of those. Awesome. Alrighty, we are going to start with a little plank series to get us nice and warmed up. But before we do that, let's do some core activation. So lie on your back for me, feet planted. And then you're going to bring a couple of fingers to your hip bones. Walk those fingers in about 1 inch in towards your pelvis and really press down. And this is where we're going to be able to feel our transverse abdominis activate, or our TA. But first, let's practice some pelvic floor activation. So get your lower back nice and flat on the mat first. We're going to inhale, and as you exhale, think about drawing up a blueberry through your pelvic floor, and then inhale to release. Exhale to activate, and inhale to release that pelvic floor. Exhale to engage, inhale to release. Now we're going to add in our TA activation. So as you exhale, engage that pelvic floor and then squeeze your lower abs by thinking about bringing both hip bones in towards each other, or like you're putting on a pair of jeans. That kind of motion of drawing inwards is switching on your TA. So inhale, we release everything. Exhale, we switch on the pelvic floor and that TA muscle, and then relax as you inhale. Beautiful. All right, we're going to add a leg lower to this. So keep that back nice and flat. Bring your legs up to tabletop position. So knees together, shins parallel to the mat. We're going to inhale. And then as we exhale, we're drawing the pelvic floor up, TA on, and we're lowering one leg down, tapping the toes on the floor and bringing back up. Inhale to release, exhale, lower that leg, activate everything, and inhale. So matching your breath to one movement of that leg. Exhaling to engage. Beautiful. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. All right, rolling over onto your hands and knees. We're going to come up either into a high plank, which is hands and toes, or you can drop your knees down, but think about tucking the pelvis under and still keeping that whole spine nice and straight. And to start, we're going to go into a T plank. So we twist to one side, reach your arm up to the sky. Then we're going to add a hip dip, hip lift, and come back to that front plank, and then we'll do the other side. If you are on your knees, you just rotate onto one knee down and do that same motion. All right, let's do it, team. So into that T, arm up, drop your hip down and up, back to front. Then we go other side, up, drop the hips, back to plank. So we're going nice and slow and controlled through this, pressing the floor away through our hands. You won't be here for long. Really focusing on controlling the hips as we rotate and as we dip those hips. Beautiful. 3, 2 more here. 2, 1. Beautiful. Back to front plank. This is going to be challenging, but we're going to push through it. We're going to point through our toes, shift your shoulders over your hands, and come back. Draw that belly button in. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Come into a quick child's pose if you need. And then we're coming back to hands and knees. Beautiful. We're going to stretch one leg out directly behind you, but making sure that we're not sinking through the lower back or twisting our hips. So we want our hip bones to be facing that mat. Leg is straight out, flex the foot. We're just going to start to do some small lifts and back down. But as we lift, you don't want to see your lower back dip like this. Really think about keeping that pelvis tucked, and you're just squeezing that booty to lift that straight leg. We're really flexing the foot so that the leg stays active, and we can switch on that booty a little bit more. But it's normal to feel your other leg in this one. Beautiful. 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to take this leg out to our side and then back. Right, out to the side and back. Again, trying not to move the hips so much. It's all about keeping that core engaged, pelvis tucked. Out to the side and straight back. Beautiful. Keep pushing the floor away. 3, 2, 1. Keep that leg up. Flex your heel. We're going to drive our heel towards our glute and then stretch back out. All right, so this is all about active contraction through the back of the leg and stretching it out. Everything stays nice and still as we do this. Keep reaching with your heel and driving it back towards your booty. Beautiful, really slow movements. 2. And 1, we're going to stay bent. Drive your heel up towards the roof. Let's go. Whew, it's a burner. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, sit back. Give your wrists a little bit of love if they need it. Grab a quick drink, and then we're going to go onto the other leg. So setting up hands and knees. Tuck that pelvis in, get your nice flat lower back. Really spread your fingers so that you're spreading the load through the hands and not just your wrist. And then straighten that leg out. I'm going to turn around so I don't run into the wall. So straighten that other leg out, really flexing the heel. And we're just lifting up and down to start. Really focusing on keeping the pelvis tucked, belly button in, and our hips facing the mat as we do this. Actively flexing your foot. Beautiful. Good job, team. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going out to the side and back. Just using your mobility. And again, trying not to move those hips. Keep your foot flexed the whole way through. Awesome. Good stuff. 3, 2, 1. All right. Bending that heel towards your glute and then stretching it out, really actively squeezing your hamstring to pull that leg in. Staying as active as possible. Push the floor away. Good. Squeeze and release. Doing well. Squeeze and release. 3, 2. And last one, we're going to keep it bent, pulse up to the roof. Let's go. Push through. Keep that lower back nice and flat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, really gets that booty, hey. All right, have a little breather, team. Awesome. So we're going to go back to the top to our plank series first, and then we'll cycle through all of those one more time. So let's set up in your plank position, and we're starting with those T planks with the hip dip. All right, so jumping in whenever you're ready. You can be on your hands and toes or hands and knees for this version. And coming back. Drop the hips, really lift them. Very slow, controlled movement. Awesome. Don't recommend drinking water before these. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Front plank. Squeeze your hands nice and wide, and we're doing rocks, shifting forwards and back. Let's go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Give your wrists some love. All right, back to hands and knees. If at any point your wrists are way too sore, you can drop to your forearms like this in any of the ones that we're doing next, all right? So up to you. Spread those hands nice and wide. Press the floor away. We're going to straighten out our leg. Really flex the heel, and we're lifting up and down. Keep that pelvis tucked. Squeeze the butt. Keep your leg active. Beautiful. Nice control. Squeeze that butt cheek. Awesome. Keep pushing the floor away. All right, now we're taking that leg out to the side and back in. Trying to keep those hips steady. That's where the challenge is. Keeping the hips nice and steady, facing the mat. Beautiful. Stay active through that leg. Two. And 1. Awesome. Bending at the knee, bringing your heel towards your booty, and then straightening out. Really active squeeze here. Driving that heel in. Totally normal to feel the other leg a little bit more as we do this. It's doing lots of work to stabilize. Squeeze and release. 2, 1. Keep that leg bent and pulse it up towards the sky. Pulse. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing. All right, roll out those wrists, have a breather. And then we're straight back in. Hands and knees. All right, stretch that leg out long. Flex your heel, tuck your pelvis under, and pulse up and down with that straight leg. Beautiful. Keeping that pelvis tucked under. We don't want to sink through our lower back. So keep pushing the floor away. Right, now we're going out to the side and back in. Keeping those hips nice and steady. Beautiful. We've got a team. Awesome. All right, now we are bending, bringing that heel to our booty and lengthening out. Active squeeze through the back of the legs. And keep that leg up. Awesome. Nice control. All right, on this next one, we are pulsing up. Keep that pelvis tucked under. Three, two, one. Woo! Good job, team. All right, have a little breather. And then we're going to lie on our backs. For our next little sequence, lying on our back. Not punching any walls. All right, so for this entire sequence, you've got a couple of options. You can keep your feet planted, and whatever movement I'm showing, you can do exactly the same by keeping your opposite leg on the floor. So that's option one, a little bit easier. Option two, we're going to be in tabletop for these motions, keeping your pelvis tucked under, knees on top of hips, and shins parallel to the roof. So those are your two options. You can always change between them. So hug your knees in nice and close, get that lower back as flat as possible. And then we're going to bring our knees up. Bring your hands by your side, and we're just going to start. Keep your ribs pressing down by lengthening one leg out and bringing it back in. And then the other side, lengthen it out, bring it back in. You can lower that leg as low as you like, but we're just kind of warming up the lower abdomen here. Beautiful. Think about keeping those ribs down, pelvis tucked under, side to side. Beautiful. Awesome. Last one here. Beautiful. Then we're going to stretch one leg out. We're going to draw big circles with that leg. 5 one direction, 5 the other. And our goal here is keeping our core nice and still, our hips nice and steady. All right, changing directions with that circle. The lower you go, the harder it's going to be. So if you're feeling a little too much pressure, just try not to lower that leg as low. Beautiful. 2. And 1. Beautiful. Straighten onto the other side. Big circles. One direction. Good. And if you need to reset at any point just to get that lower back nice and flush, definitely do it. Good stuff, team. 5 one way, 5 the other. Swapping over when you're ready. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Hug your knees in. All right. Next up, we have 2 options. We're going to start by hugging your knees in. Option 1, which is a little bit easier, you're going to do single leg. So you'll hug one leg in, stretch one out, and then you'll swap sides. But the key here is that our shoulders are off the floor. We're really crunching through our upper abs. Option 2 is that you do both legs out and then meet in the middle. So a little bit more challenging here. All right, so whichever one you are at, let's do it. Keep those shoulders off the floor, single leg or double leg. Reach out and hug in. Beautiful. Remember, the lower you go, the harder it is. So if you need to just make it a little easier, lift your legs a bit higher. Beautiful. 3. Keep those shoulders off the floor. 2. And 1. Amazing. Now, we are going to lie your head back, lift your legs straight in the air. Doesn't matter, they don't have to be straight, but as long as there's a gap in between them. We're going to clasp our hands together, create a little pistol shape, and we're going to reach through the legs, curl off, and then come back down. Reach through and back down. If you want to make this more challenging, lower your legs down even more. Beautiful. Reaching through. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Hug those knees in. Good stuff. Roll onto your side for me. You can either prop yourself up on your elbow or you can just lie completely flat, whatever's more comfortable. We want to stick our feet together and have our legs out quite long. Then what we're going to aim to do is lift our legs off the floor and bring it back down. Even if it only comes off an inch, doesn't matter. We're going to lift off. And to do that, we're thinking about pulling this top hip towards our rib. Good. Little tough one here. Good. 3, 2, 1. Amazing. Now we're just going to take the top leg, bring your knee towards your shoulder, and then lengthen out. Knee to shoulder, lengthen out. Beautiful. Really pull it in. Squeeze those ribs to hips, and then lengthen out. 3, 2, 1. All right, rolling onto your other side. So lying flat or propping yourself up on your elbow, whatever feels better. Feet are together, pointed, and then we are lifting those legs off the floor. Beautiful, pulling hip to rib. Good job, team. Good stuff. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Straight into that single leg tuck and reaching out. Try and keep your body really straight, like side on as you do this, perpendicular to the mat. We don't want to be shifting backwards with the hips. 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. All right, have a little breather, lie on your back. One more round through this sequence. Cool. All right, so either feet flat or in our tabletop position. Really tuck your hips under. And we're just starting with those low leg extensions, one leg at a time. Try not to tuck your other leg in as you do this. You want to keep it on top of your hips so that our lower abs have extra work to do. Just alternating side to side. The lower you go, the more challenging it'll be. Beautiful. 3, 2, and 1. All right, we are going into our leg circles. 5 one way, 5 the other. Big circles, pointing the toes, keeping your other leg nice and steady. And then 5 the opposite way. Really trying to make that circle as big as possible. Beautiful. Awesome. Have a little reset if you need, and then going on to that other leg. Good. All about control through those lower abs, ribs down. 5 one way, 5 the other. Awesome. Hug those knees into your chest. All right, and then we are either doing double leg openers or single leg, one leg at a time. Up to you. Let's do it. Remember, the options are there for you. Awesome. Really squeeze in. 3, 2. Really keep those shoulders off the floor. 1. Nice. All right, roll onto your side. Legs out long. Feet together. And we're pulling ribs to hips. Lift those legs off. Awesome. Good job, team. Awesome. 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Single leg comes into the knee and stretches out. Try not to let those hips twist or wiggle, but just pulling it in and out. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Roll over to your other side. All right, feet together, lifting them up, squeezing hips to ribs. Even if it only comes up a little bit, you're still activating all those muscles that we want to activate. One side will definitely feel easier than the other. Beautiful. 3, 2, 1. Straight into that single leg. Keeping your hips steady. Keep that leg up high. Beautiful. 2 and 1. Nice. All right, roll onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Maybe rock side to side, or take those knees wide in a happy baby, whatever feels good for you. Awesome. And then we're going to take both knees all the way over to one side. Try and keep your shoulders flat. Getting that nice twist through the spine. And then over to the other side. Big twist. Awesome. Plant your feet. We're going to cross one ankle over your knee and then pull that leg in nice and close to you. Beautiful. Over to the other side. Pull that leg in nice and close. Big stretch through the hip. Beautiful. All right, sitting up. Rolling over onto hands and knees. And we're sitting back into a child's pose. So hips towards your heels. Reach your arms as far forward as you can. Let your chest sink towards the floor. And then take both hands to the right. Big side stretch as you sit back in that child's pose. And then other side. Awesome. Push yourself up and then just finish off with some nice shoulder rolls. All right. Thanks for joining me, team.